Wow. Thank you so much, Tanner. Hey, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Wow, Justin, what an incredible presentation. Thank you for that. Hey, friends, for the next few minutes, these next few minutes have the potential literally to change your business and to change your life. Would you close your eyes just a moment and just imagine the day that you decided to start your business? What was your dream back then? Maybe it was freedom, freedom to spend more time with your family, to control your schedule, maybe a peaceful night's rest, or to build something that mattered, or maybe it was simply financial security or a legacy to be proud of. Most of us start with a vision of freedom, and we end up living in what I call contractor prison. We traded our 9-to-5 for a 24/7. We gave up a bad boss and actually unknowingly became our own worst boss. We were sold the promise of freedom, but instead we feel trapped. And I work with contractors all the time of all different sizes, and this is what they're dealing with. And this is what I dealt with in my early years. And friends, may I have permission to be a little more direct with you today? Because I've been where you are, and I can tell you that freedom, it's not a myth. It is possible in this industry. And look, the path starts here, what I'm going to show you today. And what if I told you that freedom isn't just possible, but it's actually inevitable when you decide to stop being the limit on your business? And I believe that I believe that the greatest limit on my company and on your company is its leader, its owner. That's me. It's not your team. It's not your tools, and it's not your market. It's you and I, the owners. And friends, here's where progress starts, with facing the truth. All progress starts with facing the truth. And for every excuse you may be throwing out there to make yourself feel better as to why you're not where you want to be or where you think you ought to be in your business, there's people all over that have already conquered the challenges that you're dealing with, proving that it can be done. So, I've never met anyone who dreamed of being a contractor, by the way. I've never met anyone who dreamed of being a contractor. And most of us, we didn't just wake up one day thinking, hey, I want to juggle payroll and scheduling and sales and marketing, and I want to deal with people problems and all the drama that they bring from their home life to work. And I want to lose sleep over cash flow. Wow. If you guys have ever dealt with any of these, drop a chat. And I'm going to see if I can get the chat window up over here. Yeah, there we go. Got the chat window up. Okay, cool. Great. But what did we dream of? What did you dream of? It was likely that the life that running a successful business could create for you. You likely pictured freedom, a prosperous future with your time with your family, and vacations, maybe a comfortable retirement, lake house, thriving business, financial security, and again, the pride of building something that lasts. So, you invested your time, your blood, your sweat, your tears to pursue the dream. But then reality hits. The dream gets buried under the weight of endless to-do lists, tight cash flow, and the stress of managing all the people and the projects and the marketing and the sales. And what was supposed to give you freedom, now it feels like a trap, the contractor prison. Instead of building your dream, you're just surviving day by day. Friends, I've been there too, and many others have as well. And funny, cheesy picture here, but it's like running on a treadmill that's turned up on the max. And no matter how fast you run, you're stuck in place. You're not going anywhere, but you're gasping for air. That's what so many business owners feel like as they watch their dream fade off into the distance. Or, it's like they're on the hamster wheel and it's just turning and they can't keep up. And, they wake up day after day, they dive into the chaos and they hope that maybe tomorrow it's going to be different, but it won't unless you change what you're doing today. In the beginning, most everybody that I've come across in this industry, They loved being the superstar in their business. They love being the go-to person, the expert, the know-it-all, the person who can solve the hardest problems. But then it's a role, it becomes a role they can't escape. We no longer, get to be the superstar. It's now we have to be the superstar. And that's when reality hits. And there's all of these things. I call it the time tether. We feel chained to our business, and there's no time for personal life or family. We trade our time and effort to build our business, and we have some money, but now we have no time. But even if business is doing well, constant cash flow worries about the slow season, and leads aren't flowing in or whatever, and things that steal your sleep, like nights filled with anxiety, tossing and turning and worrying about tomorrow's challenges or today's problems. Then we get busy, we ignore our health. There's a steady decline in our physical and mental well-being, and probably a steady incline in the pounds on the scale when we step on it. Then we're chained, communication chained to the phone, to the email. We're just worried if we miss a message, what are the repercussions of that going to be? And there's pressure to produce, working long hours, 6 or 7 days a week, yet feeling the pile of tasks never seems to get smaller. And there's strain, fallout with our family, on our relationships, with our spouse and our children. And it's like the business consumes all of your best energy, and your family gets your leftovers. That's what happened to me in the early days. Oh gosh, and vacations, there was a void of vacations there for so many. One of the guys I recently worked with, he last year was able to delegate out his production and systemize his production with a project manager. And then he focused more on sales, grew his business 50%. Then he hired another salesperson, and then he hired another salesperson. And now he's not doing the sales or the production. And he went on his first vacation in many, many years. But then others, they're like, hey, I can't leave. Everything will fall apart. What's going to happen when I'm not here? It's not going to work. Yeah, but then what if you don't take a vacation? What does that do to your health? What does that do to your family and even your passion for running your company? Does this sound familiar to any of these guys? Post a yes in the comments if this sounds familiar to any of you guys. Then the next thing is we compare ourselves to everybody else online. The highlight reels of all the other business owners, of all their wins. You've got these big sales numbers and all this crazy stuff going on. Just makes it look like everybody's doing so great, but you're not. Or maybe you're doing okay. We're worried, how low can we drop our price to get jobs, but yet still make a profit. And then the last one is hopium. We begin to medicate with a drug called hopium. Hopium makes you sit still, it paralyzes you, and it makes you weak. Now, hopium is not the same as hope. Hope makes you strong. Hope takes action. Hope says, my best days are yet ahead, and I have the power to influence it. Hope makes you strong. But there's these mindsets or these beliefs. Again, fear that if we raise our prices, we're not going to sell anything. If we want something done right, we have to do it ourselves. I mean, how many of you guys here have said today, if I don't do it myself, it won't get done right? But here's the truth. If you keep doing it yourself, you're never going to build a business that operates without you. Most everybody that I work with and that I meet, not everybody, but most everybody, they want a business that operates without them or with less of their input. A lot of business owners think that their employees should adapt to their management style. And, it's my way or the highway, or that's just the way I manage. We make these excuses. You know what? This younger generation, they're lazy. They don't want to work. They just don't want to work for you. Or how about, I I only use Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore or fill in the blank. What if you could deliver the same quality product to your customer and save a bunch of money on a lesser cost product? Why wouldn't you do that if the customer's just as happy with it and it gives them what they need? A lot of contractors, they just do copycat of what everybody else is doing. And have you said this before? I don't need to advertise. My work speaks for itself. I work 100% on referrals. Okay, fair enough. If that's what you want to do. A lot of business owners resist change. Friends, these are things that are false beliefs that are holding business owners back from really getting the success. Now, look, I don't want to water it down for you. And again, I'm going to be a little more direct with you. Here's the deal. You may be playing a game that you're not equipped to win. The fact is that in pursuit of the dream, we start playing, we jump in and play a game where it's simply not equipped to win. Look, you may be an expert craftsperson. You may be a wonderful salesperson or a great marketer. But here's the fact. You didn't enter this business with all of the skills that you need to build a successful business. And you're never going to personally have all the skills that you need to build a really great business. Newsflash, you're not the right person for every role in your company. Now, here's some other limiting factors. If one of these resonates with you, drop it in the chat. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So when I point the finger at you, I've got 4.3 pointing back at me. Can't count today. But when we start, we lack the talent, the skills, and the experience. Our business grows. We put all this effort in. Our business grows, and then it outgrows our leadership. And it becomes the boss. It becomes the master of our life. Instead of our servant, it becomes our master. Instead of our servant, our business becomes our master. And I know a lot of you guys on here today, guys and gals, feel that way because I talk to you every day. So many don't have a clear vision of what the future of their company and their life looks like. Why would an employee or potential employee, a candidate, want to follow a leader who doesn't know where he's going? Nobody. The only people who would follow that is people who don't care where they're going. We don't have core values. We don't live by core values. We don't have clarity of ethics. The tendency is to hire for experience and knowledge and skills rather than innate talents. We hire the wrong person, put them in a role, and then blame it on them when it doesn't work out. Who hired them? Who equipped them? Who trained them? You did. I did. It's 90% of the time our fault why it didn't work out. But it's just too easy to avoid taking responsibility and to blame other people. Friends, you and I, we're the limits on our companies. Another limit is we don't understand the predictable nature of human behavior. And we roll out ineffective comp plans. We're terrible at delegation. We give vague job descriptions. And some of you guys out there follow these fake experts and take advice from people who don't have the fruit on the tree, the people that have never been there. They don't have the battle scars. And then you try to put these puzzle pieces together without a complete plan. And you're spinning around, trying to resolve the same problems year after year after year after year. How long are you going to waste doing that? And then we join these wonderful online community groups, and they're great. But guess what? When you're solving problems that nobody in there has solved, it's like the blind leading the blind. Most of us have low emotional intelligence, and we end up as weak or toxic bosses. And our personality, our personalities are all different. Some of us are like, if it was like shooting, ready, aim, we're supposed to do ready, aim, fire. Well, some of us, instead of ready, aim, fire, are fire, fire, fire. Others are aim, 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 and we never fire. And others are just ready, ready, ready. And then others might be, hey, is it time for lunch yet? People are predictable. You are predictable. Your employees are predictable. And when you can understand that, we're going to get into that here in a few minutes. Okay. Let's keep going. And again, we hold these false beliefs. No one wants to work. No one wants to work. This generation is lazy. I have to do it myself. I can't trust anyone. All the prospects, they just want the cheapest price these days. I can't raise my prices. I won't close any deals. Oh, and gosh, if I could just get to that golden standard of 50% gross profit. I want to barf every time I hear that. Everyone was told, if you just take your costs and double them, then you're going to be doing great. That's the right price to sell at. Friends, that's what I started at a long time ago. And I know that there's a lot of you guys, because I've talked to you all the time, your gross profit margin is way lower than 50%. We'll talk more about that in a bit. By the way, have you heard of the paradox of hard work? Here's what it says. The harder you work, the less return you're going to get on your efforts. So friends, you can either work harder or you can work smarter. There's also the speed paradox, which is kind of weird. And it says that you have to slow down to speed up, because slowing down gives you time to be deliberate with your actions. Some of you that are listening today need to slow down so that you can speed up. And then there's what's called the paradox of self-improvement, or the coaching paradox. And here's what that says. And I want to know which of these two people you are. Those who need coaching the most, the individuals who struggle with self-awareness and motivation or skills, they often don't seek it out. They don't invest in it. But then those who need it the least, the achievers, the highly successful people, they're the first ones to invest in professional development because they see the impact. The first paradox is what I call the hard work paradox. Okay, and Tony says, hold on, I just missed it. I missed one. Someone said, ready, aim, fire. I've worked for people like that. Yep, that's good. So here's, friends, here's the way out. This is the way out. I call this the SOS framework. Again, we build a small business. It almost always turns into a small business, a prison cell. It's kind of like this shark cage. You're trapped in the shark cage in the little cell, and it's slowly sinking, and you're not going to be able to breathe. SOS. I've developed this over many, many years through trial, through error, through pain, the price of ignorance, the price of arrogance, and the price of good education. And I work with business owners every day, friends, and 100% of them need a team to accomplish their vision. Who does the painting at your company? People. I don't think robots are doing all the painting yet. Who answers the phone? Most of you, people, maybe some AI. Who does the sales? People. Our customers, were they houses and buildings? No, they're people. We are in the people business. People are predictable. And when you learn the predictability of people, you can then begin to build a better team. And it's going to take leadership. Here's the problem with leadership, friends. Leadership is too often not valued until it is sorely overdue. I hear it all the time, Jason, I should have thought about this leadership stuff years ago. I should have done this before. Okay, well, they didn't, but now you got to deal with it. So if you want your dreams to come true for your business, this is the SOS method. There's 3 keys in the SOS. The first S is start with yourself. Start with yourself by becoming hungry to grow and becoming a student of leadership, business, and people skills. Now, here's a truth that may be hard to swallow. Most of your business problems, friends, are your personal problems in disguise. Remember that I said we're all predictable in different ways? Well, based on your personality, there's a pattern in your personal strengths and weaknesses and your business strengths and weaknesses. And here's another fact. Your company will never be better than you. Your company will never be better than you. So, start with yourself. Take a DISC assessment, a good one, a validated one, not one of these free online ones. Take a validated DISC assessment and study it many times. You'll become more self-aware about your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, your limitations, your blind spots. And when you understand your own DISC personality style, you'll start to see how your natural strengths can drive your success and how to manage those blind spots that are holding you back in your leadership. Now, if you've already taken a DISC assessment before, maybe you're one of these high D personalities. You're driven and dominant. You get stuff done, but guess what? Your impatience can cause bottlenecks in your business. It can run people off even. If you're one of those high I people that is full of energy and optimism, the tendency is you struggle to put structure around your amazing big picture ideas. And then there's maybe you're a wonderful natural S person. You're steady and supportive, but that strength becomes a chain holding you back when you hesitate to make the tough calls or have the difficult conversations with people. Or the idea that, no one wants to work might be tied to your maybe a naturally high C personality style where you focus on precision and rules, and that's a strength of yours, but you find, you can't find the perfect fit for someone. It feels impossible. Maybe what we need to change is our systems instead of our standards. So, friends, the next thing, again, we're starting with self here. Become a reader. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders. I'm going to say that again. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders. You're already on this mastermind. That's great. Become a reader. It will change your life. Decide what future you want. Write out a clear vision, a vision that will inspire people to want to join you. Write down your core values, those values that are going to guide your decisions and direct how you make decisions in difficult times. Become the type of leader that people want to follow. People want to follow a person with a vision, on a mission, that's ethical, that's worthy of trust. They're full of drive and full of empathy. That's who people want to follow. So become a student of leadership, people skills, and business skills. And if you want your company to be great, start acting like a great company now. Here's the deal. Every master was once a disaster. Don't despise these small beginnings. Get started with leadership and working on yourself. And I think you've already done that because you're here today. Now, the second letter is O, others. That's talking about building a team of people to help you achieve your vision. And when this is about building a team of people who believe in you, they believe in your vision, and the work that they're doing, they love it so much that they lose track of time. Instead of having a clock watcher, someone who's just working to get home, is it 5 o'clock yet? Is it 5 o'clock yet? They're saying, oh no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to get one more. And you can do this when you learn how to design roles in your company and fit the right person that matches that role. And then you begin to align reward and compensation systems with the desired outcomes through measured KPIs. And then build and guard a winning culture of great, accountable people who are going to refuse to quit and go to work for the guy down the street because he's offering them $1 more. If your people will leave for $1 more, then you're a terrible leader. I can say that about myself. If my people will quit and leave for $1 more, then I'm a terrible leader. Money is not anywhere near the top of the list of the greatest motivators to stay somewhere. So think about your team right now. How many of you have people in roles that you know they're not a right fit? Maybe you're held hostage by a toxic employee. Guess what? Great leaders make the tough decisions. And you may need to part ways with a toxic Tom on your team. Matter of fact, let's talk about toxic Tom. The first thing you're going to notice is he's got 3 arms. Toxic Tom has 3 arms. You know, he operates with backstabbing and gossip, and he thrives on drama. He's undermining others constantly, making himself appear indispensable, you know, prioritizing his own agenda over the team or over the company goals. He's manipulative. He's not accountable. He's defensive, gets hostile, passive aggressive. And when you as a leader allow that on your team, friends, that your team morale is going to tank and your credibility as a leader is going to suffer. And when your people don't believe in you and your morale tanks, your productivity of your team just went down the tubes, and there goes your whole year's growth right there if you mess that up, friends. All right, let's go to the next one, systems. Imagine if you could leave your business for 2 solid weeks and you knew that your team could run everything without you and continue to turn your vision into a reality. Imagine that you could walk back in your business 2 weeks later and you instantly know exactly what's happening because you've got the right systems and crystal clear KPIs. Friends, that's the kind of freedom that I'm talking about. And the systems that we teach, we call them ABLE systems because they're repeatable, they're measurable, they're lovable, they're trainable, scalable, transferable. I'm not going to spend much time on that right now. But here's the deal. Great systems empower ordinary people to get extraordinary results. Most companies have their systems run in their heads. So when you train people, everyone ends up doing things their own way or the way that they think's best, or quite typically the way that's easiest for them, not the best for your company, your client, or your bottom line. So if you don't have a way of doing it, they're going to figure out their own way of doing it. Now, the first system that I wanted to systemize in my business was this. I wanted to have a systematic delivery of our painting projects because I knew that sales and marketing was going to be paramount to our growth. Plus, I just loved sales and marketing anyways from day one. And many of you here have already systemized your production. So then from there, the most powerful thing you can do is implement a great sales system. See, nothing happens until something is sold, but I'm not just necessarily talking about increasing your closing rate. I'm talking about increasing your price, increasing your gross profit. Again, 99% of the contractors that I meet and the ones I work with, they're happy. They've been happy selling at 50%, or they're trying to get to that 50%. But here's the world, and here's the thing. In our world, that's the place where you start, or that's a milestone. That's not where you end up. The better ones are earning 55%, 60%, and 65% gross profit. Friends, this is life-changing. Your business runs on gross profit, and when you raise your prices and continue to close deals, you can hire managers, delegate all the key responsibilities out to them, and you can buy your time back, and you can have freedom of time. Now you can start living out your life's purpose and serving and doing other things and vacationing and spending more time with families. And friends, you need a sales system that's repeatable, it's measurable, it's trainable, it's scalable, it's lovable. It closes more deals on the spot, helps you raise your prices, rescues lost opportunities, sells larger projects, shortens the sales cycle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is a game changer for you. And that's an ABLE system. We have an F7 system that we train on that multiple times a year. So here are some practical steps. I don't want to run out of time here. Here's some practical steps for you, friends. Number 1, learn the DISC model of human behavior. Take and study a personal DISC assessment. Again, a good one, a validated one, not some free online report that just gives you a letter and then drops you into an upsell funnel to get the full thing. Okay. This way you can better understand the model of human behavior and become more self-aware. You see how people are different, begin to recognize that in the people around you, and learn how your drive, your emotions, your predictable behaviors impact your leadership style. And then have your spouse and your employees take Take an assessment 2. Study their reports to better understand their predictable behaviors, especially under stress. And then get together and discuss these reports together. Make sure they understand your report as well. So the second thing is perform a self-assessment on your own ethics and character. Are your decisions aligned with your stated values? You will attract who you are, not who you say you are. Do you demonstrate fairness and integrity in all your like challenging situations? I mean, do you water down the paint? Do you cheat the customer? Do you pocket the cash to avoid taxes? Well, guess what? Your employees see that. And if they see you cheating someone else, what do you think they're going to do to you? What do they think you're going to do to them? They think you're going to cheat them too. And so they're going to cheat you right back. Is that the type of culture you want to build, friends? Do you want to build a culture of cheating? Your profits will leak out everywhere. It may work for a period of time, but not very long. And of course, seek feedback from your mentors or your peers or a coach or even your employees to see how your ethics and character are perceived by them. Develop your mission, vision, and values. Write out a clear, compelling vision of articulate what the future looks like so that someone can look at it and say, wow, that's where I want to work. This is the type of leader I want to work for. They're going somewhere and I can see myself with a career at that company. Define your core values. Share your mission and vision with your team regularly, but you be the champion of your core values. You must be the person of integrity, leading and championing with your core values. You as the leader, you set the tone, you set the pace and the tempo in your company. And don't you dare let a toxic Tom set the tone and pace and tempo in your company. You need to be the leader, friends. Continue personal growth. Recognize that you are the lid. Read books on leadership, management, personal growth. Heck, you're already on this mastermind today. But go to seminars like the PCA Expo, which is just in a few short weeks. And another one of my favorites, shameless plug, the Contractor Freedom Summit coming up in this September. Seek out a mentor, a coach. It's going to cost you some money. Improve your time management. I'm going to skip over that. Provide a feedback-driven culture where your employees feel safe speaking up and you are regularly closing the loop with them. Look for identify leaders on your team that you can give expanded opportunities to, and definitely become more financially literate, able to read your statements, your cash flows, set a budget, and build a resilient team. So the truth is, friends, you're likely already doing the hard work. The question is, will you keep running in place, or will you take steps to move forward? Today is the day to choose progress. Okay, so before we wrap up here, I want to leave you with 3 powerful ways to take action and start breaking free of contractor freedom and become a better leader. First, for one of you, just one, ready to take the leap, I'm going to offer a 50% discount on a single seat to our upcoming sales boot camp this March. These things sell out every time. They cost $5,000, and you're going to get it for $2,500. And if you go back and implement, you will make 10, 100 times what you learn in those 3 days very quickly. Okay? But just one of you. So if you want a sales system that you can learn, that you can train, that will help you increase your GP, keep closing deals, close deals faster, rescue lost opportunities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is your moment. Now, here's how to enter. I want you to simply send an email to me with the words Sales Boot Camp in the subject. My email is right here below my video, jason@jasonwphillips.com. This isn't a someday opportunity. This is it. This is the only time I'm going to do this. It's right here. It's right now. Then it's gone. So just send an email to jasonwphillips.com if you need the sales boot camp, and I will enter you in the drawing for half off. Don't overthink it. Do it now. Okay. Secondly, I've created a 4-page leadership roadmap plus a checklist for you. It's a practical guide to help you identify the steps so that you can grow your skills and lead with confidence. And again, build the business that you've always wanted. The resource is yours, completely free. All you need to do is right now in the chat, just drop leadership in the chat, and I will make sure you get it. Okay? Leadership. Just drop leadership in the chat, and I'll make sure you get that. It's a document. It's more than a document. It's a blueprint. Okay. And third, if you want to take a DISC assessment, the DISC assessment that I use with all of our clients and internally at my company, it's a validated assessment. It's highly accurate. And if you want to take this and you want to get started, just go to contractorfreedom.live, and I'm going to post in real quick my email and the link. And if you go to contractorfreedom.live, if you just scroll right down a little bit, there's a section called assessments. You can get a Spanish one, an English one, whatever. And you can even get a kids one. And get started with that. Okay? And read it and study it. So friends, freedom doesn't happen by accident. It starts with a decision to stop making excuses, to stop being the lid on your business, to stop waiting for someday, to take action today. So what's it going to be? Will 2025 be the year that you break free of this junk, you raise the lid, the ceiling on your life and your business, you start building the business you've dreamed of? Freedom is not just a goal, it's a choice. And today you get to make that choice, friends. Thank you so much for trusting me to guide you today. I look forward to connecting with you guys. Let's make 2025 amazing. And Tanner, thank you so much for hosting this amazing event. And thank you for inviting me to contribute.